Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. It's Rad, and we have a partial solar eclipse on our hands that is taking place on the 29th. So it's a few days from now, 5 days from now to be exact, and it's taking place almost at 7 a.m. That is East Coast. 6:58 to be precise. The degree is 9 degree in the sign of Aries, at least according to my calendar. So the solar eclipse, they are also rather like, so when we do have new moons, this is when solar eclipse can happen, and that is the case exactly that time. This new moon causes a partial solar eclipse in the sign of Aries. So that is what we're going to check tonight, and how things are going to develop for all of us, what kind of influence that phase of the moon, which is going to be a waxing moon, is going to have on all of us. And for what I can see from the collective reading here, we are off for a rough time for us, you know, for as far as the influence of that waxing moon on us will be. And you can examine the cards for yourself if you so wish, more extensively, observing the thumbnail. I'm going to show them to you right now in any case. Hello, Amelia, good evening. So the first card which I drew, that will be the Five of Swords here, followed by the second card that I drew, which is the Ace of Pentacles, and the third card that I pulled from my deck, that will be the Eight of Cups. Okay, so the best title that I could have come up with, okay, that was this is going to be a time where there is going to be a very, very big chance, each one of us, okay, so nobody is pretty much protected to shoot thyself in thy foot. And the reason for that, at least according to these cards, is that we're gonna grow up into a feeling that things are slipping in between our fingers, whether with the results or whether with how the circumstances are going to be stationed. And I kind of like had a talk with a person that knows astrology and mentioned, you know what, this new moon is gonna be rough, and they told me, well, kind of like it's in some kind of a corridor or something. So I don't know astrology at all, right? So obviously can't speak for that, but it does look like that someone's that is studying that science agrees. So off for a rough time, and doing so, being in such a position where we are gonna happen not to be very happy with how things are turning out and not be satisfied by the results. And above everything else, we may even batter ourselves that we allowed to have ourselves being beguiled into chasing something that turns out not to be as valued as promised, or as easy as promised, or in generally is not as a promised opportunity to further any kind of goal. Okay, and so finding ourselves in such a circumstances, we will be prone to bend rules. We will be prone to seek the easy way out. We will be prone to abuse power. We will be prone to crush dreams, betray trust, if you will, and any kind of moves and tools to be used that will give us an edge. Okay, and by how can I put it into words? By clinging to some of those tools. I'm not saying that is something wrong, that we want to better our situation, but there are going to be a certain range of tools or range of acts that we can perform in those couple of weeks that are going to cross lines. Okay, and crossing those lines is going to be that moment that we have shot ourselves in the foot, because it's no different than, I don't know, taking a drug. You know, what happens it is, or at least that is, you know, my take on taking drugs, is that you borrow happiness from tomorrow, but then you have to pay it with returns. And so it is going to happen the same thing. So you're going to borrow up some success from tomorrow. Any of us that is going to use those tools is going to borrow up some success from tomorrow, but then he's going to have to pay it with returns. And when you draw the line, happens that you spent or paid more than you actually got. And those tools could be anything. Like I said, it could be words, it could be actions, it could be some kind of leverage that you can use, and so on and so forth. So it's very important in these couple of weeks to be very mindful whether we cross lines or not. And a big compass for it is going to be our morals, and a big compass for it is also going to be the fate of others. If our actions are altering the fate of others in any way, then this is crossing a line, and we should refrain ourselves from doing it, at least according to these cards. That is like a guidance here. Okay, so that is how that waxing moon is going to affect what kind of effect that waxing moon is going to have on all of us. Hopefully we will be able to deal with it more with ease than anything else. So that was for the collective reading. Now there are going to be 12 more readings just like this one. One for each star sign, and I'm going to start with Aries. Going to run down the ecliptic, meaning it's going to be Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and so on and so forth. And you can keep up with which star sign I'm reading for through the glyph that is being displayed here. If you are watching it on a video, you can skim forward for your star sign, seeing the glyph being displayed there. And bear in mind that these are generalized readings for the star signs, so very seldom they happen to be a exact answer to whatever personal situation you do have. So if you do wish my skills in tarot to be applied for your personal situations, then you can go to my website, which link you're going to find in the description down below. And there at the very front page, you can see a full list of my services, their pricing as well. So based on your budget and also your needs, you can go for whichever one is going to suit you best. Now, other than that, if you do enjoy the show and you like the content, you can subscribe to the channel if you haven't so already, and like the video or dislike it if you don't like it. Leave a comment as well. Either of these actions is going to help with the algorithm. And finally, if you do want to support the show financially, you can do so using the super chat or a PayPal, which link you are also going to find in the description down below. And as I do believe that, you know, kindness goes both ways, if you do so, I am going to perform you a personalized reading at the end of the stream, just like Shauna did. Shauna, thank you for the 20. Thank you for the 20 US dollars. Let me put you into the list, and you're going to have your personalized reading at the end of the stream. How you have an inquiry actually, so let me put your inquiry as well. Okay. Hello, Julia. Welcome to the stream. All right, so Aries goes first, and let me shuffle for it. Ten of Swords, Page of Wands, Two of Swords. Well, that's so bizarre. Yo, mate. I'm quite well. How are you doing? And by the way, Yulia, how are the things in Hong Kong? I believe you were in Hong Kong. How far better than Europe? Oh, that's great, Taco. Nice dinner you have there. I'm gonna cook mine after the live stream. It's gonna be steaks, pork steaks with a vegetable salad. Oh, that's great. It's great, man. Very, very happy for you. All right. So back to Aries. Actually, quite surprised because the new moon and the waxing moon is going to provide you with some, I would classify them perfect answers. Okay. So I do believe that this is a time for you where you can do a, I would say, solution or find solution to especially to a situations where you just don't know how to approach, whether you don't know which one to choose to date, or whether you don't know how to approach your boss for a promotion, or whether you don't know how to react in a friendship situation, whatever the case, all right? And in these couple of weeks, starting from 25th moving forward, the approach that you gotta do, or the words that you have to say, or you know, the act that you must perform will become super obvious to you, whether through a hint or you just your light your la 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 your I got excited. Hold on. Your light is gonna go off. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Okay, so whether that's gonna happen, it's besides the point. But you are gonna have your answer, and you can shoot yourself in the foot because that is a the generalized influence of the new moon here is if you become way too, the word is not hesitant. And I'll try to give you an example how exactly could go off that way. Is that, say you approach your boss for a promotion, and they tell you, okay, I'm gonna give you the promotion, but you will have to be in a certain way. You know, you will have to deal with these responsibilities and with that thing and so on and so forth. And kind of like trying to back off from it is the way you shoot yourself in the foot, because you will have your chance, but taking it is a one-time act. There is no going back from it, there is no revoking it, there is no overruling it. So you will have to be very certain whether this is exactly what you want, because there will be no changing minds afterwards. Okay, and that is how the Ten of Swords manifests for you here. The action, the choice, irrevocable. Taco, thank you for the $22.22, mate. Thank you, Taco. Let me put you into the list. And at the end of the stream, you will have your personalized reading. Morning in Hong Kong, you say, eh? I don't know if what you take as a soulmate, Amelia, because to me, soulmate could be a very, very good friend. So you may have a couple of them actually around you, but you just, because when people say soulmate, they probably picture the perfect, I don't know, lover or the perfect person to make a family with. While more often than not, in fact, in most of the cases, soulmate is just your best friend. Okay, Taurus next. Because in Tarot, the soulmate is governed by the High Priestess, and a relationship happening under the influence of the High Priestess, it's very boring, right? Because if you are soulmates and you're in a relationship, you are basically all the same. There is nothing to learn from the other. The other will cannot excite you in any way because literally they are the same as you. They cannot surprise you in any way. Okay, so it becomes very boring one, or I would say not exactly boring, but rather very ossified one. Hello, Lisa. So instead of seeking someone that is exactly like you, why don't you try to find someone who is a perfect opposite match to you? That is what the lovers preach, by the way. The star card, the Hierophant, death. Very minuscule influence of the death card here, but you will have a chance. Now, if this chance happens in your career, it will be a long-term job or a long-term project that it is presented in front of you and you being part of it, or a long-term business that you can establish. Should be in your personal life. That is a promise for a unfolding love. Okay, so you're gonna have a chance. This new moon is gonna gift you with an opportunity, is gonna gift you with a chance. The problem, it's not a chance you hoped for. So what I mean is that yes, a long-term job, but not the job you wanted. Okay, or not the job you believe in. Yes, a prospect for a long-term relationship, but not probably with the person you hope for, and so on and so forth. And so shooting yourself in the foot, it is not taking it, because then you are going to be stuck with the same problem. Here, what this new moon offers you is a complete resolution or end, so to speak, of an era of a turmoil for you, not being happy in your love life or not being successful in your career. But you are gonna have to, if you want to take that chance, you will have to step into the unknown. And once you make that step, afterwards, you can build up a criteria or ideals anew that are going to be just as good as these you have right now. Okay, Gemini. Well, you never know, Amelia. I mean, uh, the fact that your sun is in Virgo or your sun is in any kind of star sign is completely, uh, it carries a little bearing what kind of a person you are. For example, me and my mother, we are both Scorpio, but we are nothing alike. Okay, we are literally nothing alike. except facial similarity, because we are very alike when it comes to you know, facial look. Three of Pentacles, Five of Cups, Five of Wands. You will be offered the help to get back on your feet. Or, you know, if you are on your feet right now and you don't need that, then the help is going to be about developing even further. Okay, so if your business is doing good, for example, this offer is going to be so your business can do better. Or, you know, if your business is going bankrupt, then that is going to be a bailout. A bailout. Not unconditional. However, there is going to be a following criticism, what you're doing wrong, how you're doing it wrong, and so on and so forth. And well, it's going to be in a form of suggestion, but not exactly. It's going to be more as a demand. If you do wish that help, that you will have to reverse that, circle back, and fix what you are criticized about. Taking on that help will lead to a very fruitful and productive cooperations, discussions, and a inflow of a fresh resources into your business, into your social life, or into your relationship. And above everything else, whatever choices you made recently that are going down south, for example, you choose to buy a product or to promote a product or to sell a product if you have business, okay, and things aren't going well, or you chose to make a certain, you know, to work on a certain project and things aren't going well and so on and so forth, that help is going to reverse that. And it's going to make of a poor choice a really, really good one. But again, it's going to come with a conditions. And you will shoot yourself in the foot if you do not take on this help and you do not take on this position, on these conditions. Then, my fellow Geminis, then the havoc unfolds, right? So for the sake of you all, think about it carefully. Good morning, News Devon. Thank you for the £5. Thank you. Let me put you into the list, and at the end of the stream, you're gonna have your personalized reading on what is coming your way. I will have to use the Lenormand card for that question, just so you know, not the tarot ones. All right, Cancer. Nothing better than a payday. I remember the days when I was working full-time job. Unfortunately, the company that I was working for wasn't really regular, okay? And to us, a payday was a really, really pleasant surprise. So it was actually, back in the day, that was these were one of my most happiest days. You know, because you're struggling, you scramble, you can barely, you know, afford food, and a payday comes out of nowhere because you really knew when the payday is gonna come about. And actually, that was one of the things why, you know, not forced me, but rather pushed me to work for myself. Because, you know, if I am going to be poor, at least I know why I'm poor, right? No, because I'm working 8 hours a day as an engineer, mind you, and scramble to pay rent. It's kind of, it's awful. Right, Cancer, the Lovers, the Hierophant, uh, King of Wands. Well, to give it credit to the company I was working for, these days that I'm talking about were when the economic crisis hit due to the collapse of a few American banks and the real estate. So many other companies actually closed doors and left their employees kind of like out stranded. So ours didn't. And while it struggled to provide a regular pay, at least paid, right? But it wasn't very pleasant at all. Yasmin, thank you for the 20. Thank you, Yasmin. Let me put you into the list. And at the end of the stream, again, you're gonna have your personalized reading on how this waxing moon is going to affect you. Yeah, well, 2008 to 2020 and 12. And then 2013, I just stopped working there. We part ways, and that was the time. That was the moment I actually started working for a website with tarot, and this is when my actually career was established. But I was studying tarot since I was 14 years old, so it was kind of like a hobby by that point. Yeah. All right, so Cancer, those three cards here, okay, and that's a quite a complicated read for you. And to be frank, these cards can manifest in few ways. So I will go about this reading as more as a warning and as a guidance. So this is a time where these couple of weeks is a time where you're drive for life, having a good time, going out with people, right? And for example, spending times at cafeterias, pubs, discos, bars, and so on and so forth could make you look quite unreliable and untrustworthy. I don't know why, but that is what those cards are showing. So basically, these couple of weeks, if you spend the time the way you want and the way you feel good about it, will present you again in the eyes of others as someone who is just throwing their life away and cannot be trusted, cannot be relied upon. Jasmine, it is the solar eclipse that it is happening on the 29th, the new moon in Aries. The other way how this is to manifest for you guys is a chance to enforce your ambition and to start making your ambition reality. Okay, so if you are ambitious about making money, start making money. If you are ambitious about buying a house, making the first steps of into that direction. But then what is going to happen is, at least according to these cards, is that you will become too obsessed of the result and not of how you're going to get there. So you're going to be too obsessed of the destination rather than the journey itself. And you can do quite of a stupid things going about that journey. So it's going to be important to be mindful, okay, how you are making those money, or how you are to buy that house, or in generally how you are interacting with the people around you. But other than that, you have a pretty big chance in these couple of weeks to end up being very aligned with your surroundings and being in a full harmony with the world around you. Jasmine, thank you for the 20. Thank you, Jasmine. Let me put you into the list. And at the end of the stream, you're gonna have your personalized reading. That's true. The pandemic hurt a lot of employees too, but not nearly as much as the economic crisis 2008. Julia, thank you for the $15.31. Thank you, Julia. Let me put you into the list. And at the end of the stream, we're gonna have your personalized reading. Thank you. All right, Leo. Ace of Pentacles. A High Priestess. Now, this is what we're calling a soulmate, okay? And then it is the Wheel of Fortune, third one. All right. So aside from finding your soulmate here, or that new moon has a very big chance bringing up to you a soulmate with that Ace of Pentacles or High Priestess. But since the Ace of Pentacles is the first card, there is a condition that is if this is a goal of yours before the in the moment before I drew the cards. Okay, so if you had that as a goal before I drew those cards, then this is a very big chance. There is a very big chance that new moon brings that person or that kind of a person to you. Now, aside from that, this new moon is going to calm things down for you. It's gonna calm down the disturbing situations at your work. It's gonna calm down the tumultuous interactions in your relationship. It's gonna calm down the intrigues in your social circle for as much as you have them, right? And things are going to become very fluent and quite reliable, for lack of better expression here. So your job is going to get back to normal, your relationship is going to get back to normal, your social circle is going to get back to normal, and within these normalities you will be able to establish whether a lucrative business maneuvers within the same business or within the same job, or a harmony within the same relationship. Shooting yourself in the foot, it should be if you try to change that job, if you try to change that relationship, if you try to change that social circle. So you have been warned. Oh yeah, there are handhelds, Amelia, and truth be told, my hands aren't that small, and I'm still slipping cards left and right. All right, Virgo. Don't you have benefits for it? Like compensation? Because I'm going to tell you a story, guys. Now, as you, Amelia, opened up that topic, there was that guy that was working in England, okay, as a cantoneer, I believe, and the train actually hit him, and he sustained a quite permanent injury. It's not like he wasn't able to walk or anything, but he was limping. And I was a permanent injury, so under the British government, you are entitled for compensations for the rest of your life. And he came back into Bulgaria, and for Bulgaria, the money of that compensation, you can't spend them. You know, if you are living a normal life, you can't spend those money. So he was drinking from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. every single day. I am witness to it. 7 a.m. the local cafeteria opens up, or a pub, or whatever you want to call it, and he was there because he was living right across the street, and probably he was observing from his window when the cafeteria is going to open. And 7:00 he was in front of the door, and he was walking in, and was starting with hard alcohol vodka. He died from cirrhosis, and that compensation killed him, and he still wasn't able to spend all those money drinking all day long. So yeah, that compensation killed him. Well, that's great, Amelia. Yeah, Taco. So you were in the army? The hangman. We have the emperor, and then is the two of cups. This new moon is gonna bring love into your life. So Amelia, you are a Virgo. I guess you are in a luck here, because yeah, I mean that new moon is gonna bring love into your life, but that is only if you let it go. Guy, you know that expression, or at least in our country, we do have that expression that you find what you do not seek. The moment you stop seeking and trying to establish love, love finds you, right? So uh so you just have to let go. You just have to stop thinking about it, okay? And as time passes, the moment is gonna grow ripe for you to meet the one that it is going to be suitable for you, okay? At least according to these cards. And how can you shoot yourself in the foot? Two ways. Feeling entitled, like taking it for granted and believing, for example, as you are a woman, thinking, Amelia, that, well, he's a man, so he will have to pull all the weight, at least at the start, you know, asking me out, seeking my attention, and so on and so forth. I am a woman, I have to play hard to get. Big mistake, everything falls apart right off the get-go, right off the bat. Here, under the influence of the Two of Cups, people have to put equal efforts. Very important. The second thing, how can you shoot yourself in the foot, is if you try to establish control right off the get-go, to control their lives, to control their schedule, to ask for explanation. Why what are you doing with your phone? You know, why are you calling to that person? Who is this? Who is that? You are not allowed to do that thing or another thing. Again, the whole thing is gonna fall into ruin. So it's very important to in those couple of weeks at least, okay, to respect the foreign life and the foreign private space, for lack of better expression here, okay, personal space, and to pull your weight into it, into that relationship. Oh yeah. Oh, you're welcome, Emilia. Okay, next, Libra. Well, I don't drink and don't gamble, but I do smoke. Well, you know, we are only humans. One has to have at least one affliction. We can't be all virtues. We ain't angels. Ace of Cups. Uh, Judgment. The Hierophant. A hope restored. A hope restored. So depending on where, in what field you have lost hope into, this is where we do have those cards manifesting, and or the influence of the new moon is pressed into your life. Okay. So if you have, for example, if you have lost hope that you're ever gonna have a good job, well, then that manifests as a good job offering. If you have lost a hope that you're ever gonna have a faithful friend, then that is a faithful friend. You are lost hope that you have ever gonna be loved again, then that is a love for you. Okay, so depending on where you have lost hope, this is where that thing manifests. And the mistake you can make here, Libra, I think that, or to take a stance, um, the word is not granted. It's quite difficult to explain it. Thank you, Amelia. Have a good one. Mm. The aeon or the judgment in these cases is when you think you know everything, and that your what you think and how you want to act is the best way possible moving forward, and everything that every other person suggests is a stupid thing. Okay, to adopt that standpoint and to go about the situation, like, if you aren't there, um can I put it into words? If you aren't there, um the other side will never gonna be happy, for example. So if they don't make a relationship with you, they will never gonna have a good relationship. Or if they don't hire you, they ain't gonna have a successful business. Or if they ain't friends with you, okay, they never gonna know what a good friendship is. So being that hubris with the chance that you are gonna be given, it is the way how you can shoot yourself in the foot. Okay, next, Scorpio. Yeah, Taco, it's quite of a tragic story. And by the way, I thought that he was like 65 to 70 years old, and I was shocked to learn that he wasn't even 50. So that is what alcohol does to you. I mean, excessive consumption of it. The star, uh, justice. the Chariot. It's pretty easy interpretation here. This new moon is gonna make it so the things are gonna move forward in a way that is gonna suit us best, or in a way that we want things to move forward, right? In every single department. The only caveat that we are gonna have as a Scorpio is that we can't do it alone, right? In every department, yes, we can do the job the way we want. We can go forward with our relationships the way we want, or we can date the person we want, but we can't do it by ourselves. So we will have to swallow our pride, because it's a matter of a pride here, and either accept it or ask for it. I mean, for the help ahead. And then what takes place, it is that whatever obstruction we are facing right now in work, or in our love life, or in our social life, whatever the case, is gone, no longer there, no longer present, so to speak. And from there on, we can go about our development in it, developing our love life, developing our job, developing our business or our social circle, unobstructed, okay, unfazed. And we can get to the point that we have as a wishful result. But again, we can't do it by ourselves. So we'll have to accept either cooperation, help, in whichever way it manifests for either of us. Sagittarius. Ten of Wands. Queen of Wands. Page of Wands. So a bit unfortunate, because this new moon is gonna bring forth. Yeah, it is a very good news for Scorpio, Julia. It is a very, very good one. But again, you can't do it on your own. And I guess in relationship, that's valid. You know, you can't have, well, I guess you can, but not practical one. Back to Sagittarius. A bit unfortunate for Sagittarius, because what is going to be brought forth for Sagittarius are things they promised, like a responsibility they promised to keep up with, like a task you guys have promised to take on, like an endeavor you have promised to be a part of. So you will be held up to those promises, and to add some on top of it as well, because these promises, because these tasks, endeavors, and so on are going to bring forth some additional collateral with it. So on top of what you have agreed on, you will have to carry on with more to it as well. And right off the get-go, you will have a complete understanding how the whole thing is going to work out, what you have to do, and in generally how to prevail, right? So then you may think, well, how am I supposed to shoot myself in the foot? Well, that's the thing. When you are, when the demand is made, so to speak, to keep up with your promise or to what you have signed for and so on and so forth, at least at the start, you're not going to see much reason into it. Your first thought is going to be, well, what is it, what is in it for me, right? What is in it for me? Well, according to these cards, an amazing results, but they ain't gonna be obvious, at least at the start, and you can bail off it. You can just say, you know what, yeah, I promised it, but things change and I'm just not gonna do it. So then someone else is gonna take on your rewards. Okay, so you will let go of or deny yourself from a, at least for what those cards are showing, and an amazing rewards. Every single one of it carries on with it as a an addition, influence, presence, power. Capricorn. Ten of Swords, Three of Swords, Four of Cups, um, it's a fear factor. Like this new moon is gonna bring up a circumstances that are gonna make you question uh, what you're doing. So you may find yourself questioning your marriage, for example. You may find yourself questioning your relationship, questioning your job, or a certain friendship. And the reason for it is because you haven't seen any, the word is not improvement, but more like a development recently. So this influence is going to take place where things are installed, things are not moving in any way, shape, or form. Okay, forward, and that is exactly what's going to make you question whether you know it worth your time in general, whether there is any point being a part of that enterprise, whether being a part of that job anymore. Well, for you, my friends Capricorn, either way works. You can stay or you can go for at least those cards. But here is the thing. Once you make up your mind, you will live to regret it. Or like the word, not regret, but being disappointed by it. Thinking, what if I stayed? Or if you stay, what if I went, okay, and found myself another job? But the result of all that, of either choice, is going to be the same. You just have to make up your mind. That's the thing. And this new moon, or that waxing moon, is about making up your mind and live with the consequences of it. Okay? But this fear of fear of missing out or fear of loss is going to be nagging at you, and you will have to build up the mental strength to push through it. So it's a test of your mental strength. Aquarius. The strength, the sun, Six of Wands. That looks a lot like encouragement, but that encouragement is going to be manifested through rewards. So, for example, for us Aquarius, because I'm rising Aquarius, okay, say we are doing some kind of a private project with intent to sell it. Well, it's going to sell very well. Or say we have a very good idea to make money, it's going to make good money. Or we have a good idea to build up influence, we're going to build up a big influence, and so on and so forth. And these peak of experiences, these bonuses, rewards, recognition, whatever it is going to build up our confidence to put forth a long-term goal, for, or a target for the business, a long-term goal or target for the relationship, a long-term goal or target for the social, in whichever field in our lives those that influence of the new moon is manifesting. And what we must do is not to experiment. That is the way how we shoot ourselves into the foot. If you say, you know what, I made such a good results here, so why don't I try something I never tried before? Big mistake. We will have to set a goal that is natural to us, that it is something we are good at, that it is something that we have talent into, that it is something we have knowledge into, that we know we can expand and we can grow into it. And just as an addition, we are going to make a good progress into bad relationships, probably accomplishing as well mending into them. All right, so ending up in a wrong foot with a colleague or with a friend or with a family member, well, these couple of weeks starting from 29th are going to be the weeks where, if we so wish and please, we can fix that relationship. Okay, and last but not least, that will be Pisces. The Fool, Page of Cups, Four of Pentacles. So we're not going to be, no we, you guys, because I have nothing in Pisces, but you are not going to have the warranties you want here. What I mean is that, or the assurances rather, the assurances you consider valid. So within this new moon, for example, or within that waxing moon, you are not going to see the assurances that you are ever going to get promoted at that job, for example, or the assurances that person ever going to be faithful to you, or the assurances that this thing is going to last, okay? And this is going to force you to start something new, to get a new beginning. And in this new beginning, okay, or it's going to be like a replacement. In this new beginning, the world is going to be your oyster and the sky is going to be your limit as well. So it's going to be very, very important not to bring anything from the past. What I mean is that if this is a new relationship because you saw no assurances that the person in your previous relationship is going to be faithful to you, you shouldn't bring forth this this advantage of unfaithfulness into your new relationship. That's going to be a new person that has nothing to do with the old one. So you should treat that new relationship like it is your first relationship in your life. Okay, same thing about a job, same thing about a friendship. But in relationship, it's not going to be that much about the assurances as much as the change. You will just not going to see the enough change in your partner being aligned to you or being attuned to your needs for you to worth staying into it. If it is about relationship. Now that is a generalized reading. This influence could be in any field. It doesn't have to be in your relationship, but if it is in the relationship, these lack of assurances that, you know, the relationship is going to last is going to be because you will not going to see the necessary change or being made a necessary effort to it. Like, for example, if your spouse is drinking and they promised you that they will stop drinking, so that is a change they promise, but you don't see the efforts toward that change, that is what's going to make you lose assurances that this relationship is going to last, and therefore jump into new venture in a new relationship. Okay, so that was for the 12th. Now there is going to be super chat. Super chat readings. So first, Shona say a coworker is coming to live with you as you're gonna rent them a room, and you want to know if you're gonna get along. And let's have a look. By the way, Tsako, now I'm reading your text here, or you know, your chat message where you went from 2K a week to a 500 a week. Well, my monthly salary was less than that, was less than 500 a week. Okay, your 500 a week. No, you haven't, Jasmine. I'm just starting with it. I'm starting with the super chat, and Shona says first. So you understand, you know, I kind of like wasn't very happy with my job at that point. And though it was less than that, it was still irregular. Awful. Whether you're gonna get along. Those are the cards kind of yes, if you don't meddle in your own business, in each other's business. So let me give you an example, okay? Kind of example should I give you? It's like, say you like tea, right? But your colleague likes coffee, and you're trying to make them like tea and replace tea with a coffee and constantly harping about it, right? Or a kind of like holding them up to the way you are treating your house and you are treating your life, right? So they are renting a room and they can do in that room whatever they like. For as long as that is how you treat them, things are gonna go fine in between you two. I'm not saying that you're gonna be best friends. Probably you are gonna pass each other into the lobby, into the living room, into the corridors without saying any word to each other. But there ain't gonna be any problems in between you two. But for in the moment, you are gonna tell them how they are to live, then you are gonna have a huge issue. Okay, just so you know. It's a precarious balance that you will need to maintain there. Shona say. So I don't think that's the best choice, but for a person to rent the room with, but at the end of the day, it's a promise you gave. All right, next, Yasmin. Let's have a look at how this new moon is going to affect you, Yasmin. You're welcome, shall I say. Oh, okay, Jasmine. Yes, you can ask that question. All right, Taco. Those are cards for you. This is the Tarot cards. And these are the Lenormand cards. Yeah. So you have a friend choice and rewards bonuses. So a loyal companion of yours, a friend, is gonna make you decide, you know, how to, or is gonna make you decide what your reward should be, or what payment you should take, and so on and so forth. So if you are having if you're having a mutual business or a mutual endeavor with a friend of yours, then they are going to make you, or allow you rather, to make the decision what that endeavor is going to be about, or they will simply going to make you I'm sorry, they simply are going to approach you with an endeavor under which you have the choice what this endeavor is going to be about, and how much you're going to gain from it. And the reason for it, from these cards, is that actually a couple of reasons. One is that your friend sees you as a very, very reliable individual in that department, okay, or that loyal companion. Sees you as a very loyal individual, not loyal, but reliable, I'm sorry, and loyal as well, because they do trust you, individual in that apartment, and also quite, I would say, skilled. I mean, this person approaching you, they very well know that you're going to do the job very, very well, while entrusting the job to someone else, well, then that's a wild card. It's quite a wild gambit for them. So they will recognize you as the person who is right for the job, so to speak, or right for the endeavor. Now, whether you are going to accept that choice or not, whether you're going to accept to make that choice or accept to be a part of all that, that is entirely up to you. But long story short, here, this new moon is going to give you the right to choose what you want to gain from a something that it is related to you and a person that you consider as a loyal companion. Okay, so that's why I said a friend, but it could be a family member as well. So they will allow you to choose where you are heading from here on moving forward, both of you. And again, you may decide not to make a choice. You may decide to pull off. It's entirely up to you. But just so you know, doing so will undermine the trust that that person have in you. So that is how this new moon will manifest for you, mate. Okay, next, Yasmin. You're welcome, Taco. Filet mignon, yeah. Quite an expensive entree, don't you think? I never had one, by the way. I can't cook it for myself. I mean, I could try, but I'm gonna ruin the filet. And ordering it in a restaurant, wow, I have to sell a kidney or something to do so. A very expensive entree. So I never had one. And to be honest, I never saw selling it in supermarkets here. $20. It's $20. It's cheap for it. Here it's very expensive. All right, Yasmin, those are the cards. And this new moon, within this new moon, you're gonna have, or you're gonna find a way out of a quite of a rough situation. That it is a situation of a conflicts which are giving you a lot of trouble, or at least according to these cards. So that trouble is gonna go away because, like I said, you're gonna find a way out of these arguments, out of these confrontations, so to speak, and out of that situation. In the way that is going to be presented to you, how to solve all that will be out of your control. What I mean, it is that this isn't going to be a resolution that you will figure out on your own. It is just the circumstances are going to align in such a way that it's just the opportunity is going to be presented to you, and it is important to take it. But within this new moon, you are going to, at least according to these cards though, you are going to prevail over a person or a group of people that are opposing you on a rhetorical and verbal in a verbal way. Like they oppose your idea, they oppose your actions, but not with actions, rather with a criticism or with conflicts, with words, with arguments. And you will find a way how to quash all that. Or rather, the way is going to manifest for you, and it is important for you to take it. So this new moon for you, Yasmin, is going to quash a quite of a serious troublesome situation, whether with a colleague or whether with a client. It could be with your partner in life, you know, or with a family member. It's 9 degrees, Jasmine. And now it's your reading. So you want to know if and when your roommate is going to vacate. Okay. Those are the cards. At least according to these cards, they will not anytime soon. However, you will sign truce with them. So there will be truce in the situation. But they will not vacate anytime soon because that suits them well. The place they are right now, it suits them very well. Whether it is cheap, the work is close, or their boyfriend or a girlfriend is close, and so on and so forth. But for some reason, it suits them very well, and for that, they are not gonna leave anytime soon. But like I said, you have a really big chance to sign truce with them. All right, next, Julia. Okay. Those are cards a bit tumultuous, Julia, because according to these cards, what's important, it's just the sense of importance. It's completely different for each other. I mean, what you find important and what you find essential for you and your life, it's something that this Libra finds meaningless and minuscule, and vice versa. Okay, just a vice versa, and thus that will create quite a tumultuous state of that relationship, as there is a potential, you know, for you both to love each other, but just these ideals you both have that does not align throws everything out of the window. So I don't want to say it's a lost cause, but it will take a lot of work and as well submission. Okay, one of you have to submit to the other. Otherwise, April is not going to be a good month as far as the relationship goes. Okay, but other than that, this new moon is going to offer you with either a successful travel or inheritance. Jasmine, thank you for the 20 again. Thank you. Is there anything else then, Jasmine, that you want to know? Oh, you're welcome, Julia. Just the Hermit and the Star card, they don't go very well together. This is the opposal when it comes to relationship. And when it comes to job as well. When it comes to job, it shows that a person does not cherish the right values. While in a relationship, it is the opposite of ideals that either of the people have in that relationship. You know, for you, for example, creating a family could be the ideal of a relationship, while for him, it could be the freedom in a relationship, you know, having sex and going out and whatnot, but in the same time being free, okay, to live your life the way you want. And as you can see, those two ideals, they don't go along with each other at all. Okay, Jasmine. those are the cards, News Devon. It's a kiss of Judah. Okay, it's a kiss of Judah or Judas. So what we have here and what's coming your way is that either you're going to be praised or flattered or straight away being presented with a gift from a person that doesn't wish you the best at all. And that's why I think that it's going to be important to take everything with a grain of salt. If you ask me, a big bucket of it. And that portion of time, 29th to 12th, right? 29th of March to 12th of April. All right, and Jasmine, just a new moon reading. I think that it relates to your situation at your rental, okay? Because these cards speaks for concessions, right? So it's fruitful discussions about concessions. I don't know if it's going to be about just your side or the other side, but this is what this new moon is going to provoke. A fruitful discussions about concessions, about rules that needs to be omitted. Okay, rules or expectations, responsibilities, if you will, that needs to be omitted so the situation can breathe, if you know what I mean. And these concessions and that criticism being taken under consideration is going to, I don't know how to put it into words, but let's say solidify or consolidate your state, is going to give an alternative, right? And also is going to make how can I put it into words, unleash a new potential in the situation itself. Now, mind you that because you told me about your situation at home, that's why I think it's about that, but it may not be. It may relate to a disagreement that you do have with a client, for example, or that you do have with a friend. Doesn't have to be with that one, but very well might be. Okay. So that is what the new moon is bringing forth for you, Jasmine. A state of truce that both sides will have to make concessions, though one must do better than the other, or has to give more than the other. All right, beautiful people. So that's gonna do it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching, and as well, thank you so much for your endless generosity. Thank you. And hopefully we're going to see each other next time, which is going to be Thursday. I don't know what I'm going to do in Thursday because there are no transits. So I'll have to see. But alas, until then, bye. I read you, Yusufone. I did your interpretation with the Lenormand cards. It was the kiss of Juno, where what's coming your way is a fallacious gift or a fallacious flatter meant to lower your guard. Okay, so yeah, with that said, thank you so much for watching, guys, and see you next time. Bye again.